Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Star Screamer Reviews. Today, in honor of the new Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Ratchet, we are going to be looking at the original version of the Transformers animated Ratchet figure. This is the original version of the Transformers animated Ratchet figure, and all in all, it is a very nice rendition of the animated figure. Those guys were very curvy and a little bit cartoony in the TV show from 2007. So the designs are honestly a bit tricky to put into toy form due to the art style, but I think they did a very good job transitioning the figure from TV to toy here. Taking a look at the robot mode, he does have these big panels on his shoulders here, which I do think are a bit inaccurate to the show, but otherwise, as I mentioned, very nice. Has a little backpack here made out of the back of the of the truck mode, with room inside for his tools, which sadly I do not have, as well as having the articulated fingers here, as well as these flip out bits here to resemble his magnets from the show on both of his arms, which you just unpeg from the arms and you just close in the hands. They flip into the hands like so, easy and whatnot, which I honestly think is cool. He also has this classic pot fat belly here that we saw in the show, since this version of Ratchet is a much older, grizzled warrior guy who just tries to keep all the younger bots in line and trying to just be like a mentor and whatnot. As for also on the robot, he also has a little bit on his forearm here on this side that's compatible with the original Transformers animated Lockdown figure with his EMP blaster, just like in the show. He also has some very nice light piping in the back of his head, which, as you can see, lights up really well right there. As I mentioned, I do not have any of his accessories other than the flip out ones that are part of him, so I figure we go into articulation. In terms of articulation, he has a 360 shoulder rotation, as well as being able to fold it out, though these panels on the head do hinder it going out fully. He also has an elbow bend, as well as a fingers and thumb articulation for in and out. He also can kick forward and back, as well as having a good knee bend right there, and also toe articulation. It does not have a waist, but the head can rotate very nicely, getting him into some nice poses. As for size comparisons, here's how he stacks up against some other animated figures, starting with the armored and weapon bulkhead that came with the Headmaster figure, and I think he actually scales very well with this one. Next up, the original Transformers animated Deluxe Class Prowl, and then a little easy transform Bumblebee figure, which I honestly think scales very well with him, and is the most accurate in scale version from the original toy line, especially compared to the other one. Then the Transformers Legacy Voyager class Transformers animated Optimus Prime, which I think is actually a very good figure for scaling with these other animated toys. And then the Earthrise Optimus Prime. We are now going to start the transformation. It's a simple and effective transformation, but on my copy, getting everything pegged in can be a little tricky. We'll start with folding out the backpack from the back of the robot mode, and then proceed to pop the head in. It's spring loaded, so if you don't click it in properly, it doesn't come out. It just keeps popping out. We then fold the roof from the backpack over top, covering that, and then fold out the rest of the backpack here all the way up, so we can fold it down over the arms later. Also make sure that it stays up. Next, rotate the arms up, then rotate the forearms around so that they're now facing the other way, doing that on both sides. Fold in the fingers and thumb, like so, and then push the arm up, covering the elbows. Next, take the legs and fold them up, while also folding out the belly so that you can fold the legs up fully. Next, fold the feet and heels into the bottom of the feet, and then peg the legs together while pushing them together at the knees, because there are joints in here that need to be together like so. Make sure that the kneecaps are not lined up with the top of the legs, because otherwise everything won't peg in properly. But you can then proceed to fold the arms in, making sure that this peg goes underneath the front of the hood, like so. Next, make sure that the magnets line up with these grooves in the legs as you push everything up and in like so for both sides. Next, fold the root back over top of the arms, pegging into the legs. As I mentioned, make sure the legs are bent properly so that they peg in properly. Finally, fold down these panels on the shoulders on both sides to create the finished ambulance mode. Now that we have Ratchet in his ambulance mode, it is a very nice ambulance mode, especially compared to the animation model. It's like a 1-for-1 to that model, with like the exception of this bit here, but that's just a transformation joint, so it's acceptable. But as for the vehicle itself, it is a very nice combination of, like, I want to say eggshell white and red for the ambulance stuff, as well as having this nice medical symbol on the side here. It doesn't have much sculpted in details besides like doors and like a panel here for tools, as well as the back doors, which are made from a combination of the feet and this bit here, which can open a bit to reveal the hands on the inside, so I think that's just a fun little detail there. But you also can see the front seats in the front window here, which you could also see in the robot mode, but they're obviously more for the alt mode. And I like how like the only clear plastic in here are clear plastic inserts for the front window and the siren at the top here. It is a very nice figure, and it holds together very well so long as you keep the legs bent properly as such. But yeah, a very nice alt mode and a very nice ambulance in general. Getting into alt mode size comparisons now. This is how he stacks up against the SWAT truck for the bulkhead figure. This is how he stacks up next to the original Deluxe class Prow, which, to be fair, is not like proper scaling because he's a bike and a bike should not be bigger than an ambulance, but they do still look nice together. His hair stacks up next to the tiny little Bumblebee, which I actually think is really good scaling. Transformers Legacy Voyager class Animated Universe Optimus. Finally, the Voyager class Earthrise Optimus Prime. In conclusion, this has been my review for the original Transformers Animated Deluxe class Ratchet. He's a very nice figure, and he does have some decent articulation, especially for some of the older figures, which wasn't a priority at the time. And honestly, is a very nice rendition of his animated look. Actually, I don't really have anything though. I just really like this figure. This is a very nice figure, and I recommend adding it to anybody who likes collecting Ratchets or like animated figures. It's just a really good figure. Just, yeah. Anyways, that's it for today. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all again next time. Okay, bye.